Peeps, be bold, be beautiful, and welcome to another Diamond Lioness video. If we have not gotten a chance to meet, I am Diamond Lioness, and this is my channel where every week I post a video, sometimes twice a week if I'm feeling inspired. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, is going to be another tag video. I haven't done one of these in probably a few months, so I thought maybe I would do another one just to help you guys kind of get to know a little bit more about me, and I think they're fun to do, fun to film, so I decided I would do one for you guys today. Before we get started, yes, I do know my dress clashes with my background. I just actually realized that the floral print on the skirt that I'm using here and the floral print on my dress don't really go. Didn't think about that until I started filming. But anyway, just thought I would address that since you guys are probably going to wonder why I picked this background when I had this dress on. Just didn't really think about it. But today's tag, I'm not really sure what to title it. I found it online, some YouTube tags, and I don't really think it had a title. I think it was just a tag video or something like that. But we can go ahead and get started. There's quite a few questions in this tag, and also I have my computer right behind my camera and it's got the questions on it. So if you see me kind of like looking up or over a little bit, it's because I'm trying to look at the questions. There's different categories for these questions. There's like personal questions, and then there's like situation questions, and then there's like first time questions, so it's a little mix of everything. So we can go ahead and get started with the first category. Category is questions about me, like personal questions. First question is, what is your nicknames? I've already answered this question before in another video, but I'll go ahead and answer it again. I don't have too many. I have a couple. Binky is one of them, Joe Bob. I actually got the nickname Lioness, which really only one of my brothers uses, but that's the whole reason that this channel is called the Diamond Lioness, because I made an Instagram post. I don't know if you guys have heard this story, but I made an Instagram post when I had a really long, I think it was when I got my sew-in done, or either a sew-in or when I just did like the, what is it called? I can't think of what it's called, but I had a weave-in basically, and I put on Instagram a photo with it and said when the lioness lets down her mane, and so that's kind of been a little inside joke about it. So that's one of my nicknames. When is your birthday? My birthday is July 4th, 1997, so I just had my birthday last week, like previous week. Where is my place of birth? I was actually born outside the States. I think some of you have heard me say this. I was born in Haiti, La Tibonite, Haiti to be exact. It's little ways away from Port-au-Prince. If you guys don't know what that is, Port-au-Prince is the main capital of Haiti. What is your star sign or your zodiac sign? My zodiac sign is Cancer because I am born July 4th. What's my occupation? As of right now, I am an assistant teacher at Miniland, which is a daycare in Virginia. They're all over the state. I'm also a student, although I'm not currently in class because it's summertime, but I will be going to Radford in the fall. Questions is about my appearance, my hair color. Y'all know this isn't my real hair. This is definitely a wig. No black person is born with this color hair, but my natural hair color is about a dark brown. If you were to do it on scale, it's about a 2B or a 4. So that's about the color of my natural hair. I can show you. I'm sure you've seen it before, but this is what it looks like. It's like all pulled back because I have it braided, but it's like a brown, like a dark brownish color. Hair length. My hair length, when it's stretched, it comes to about, I want to say, chin length, maybe a little bit longer. It used to come down my shoulders, but I since cut it and it's broken off because of relaxers and things, so I'm working on growing it back out. Eye color, my eye color is brown. My best feature, probably honestly have to be my legs. I think that's the part that I like the most about me. My face is kind of iffy in terms of that, because sometimes I like it and sometimes I'm like, we got problems. Some needs to change here. But I think my legs have always kind of been my best feature. So, it's a weird one, but yeah. Do you have any braces? Nope, never had any braces. I've been fortunate enough to not really need any. The only real issue I have with my teeth is I have an overbite. I don't know if you've ever seen me smile in pictures or anything, but my overbite is the only thing that I've really had, and we just didn't really feel like it was a big enough deal to need braces for. Do you have any piercings? I do. I have 4. I don't know if you can tell. I have 2. These 2 on the bottom here don't have any earrings in, and then I have 2 straight up right above them on both sides. Let's see. Tattoos. I don't have any tattoos. I would, however, someday like to get like a small one. Maybe like a flower like on the back of my shoulder. Some are concealable because when you go to apply for jobs, most of the time, depending on where you work, they say you can't have any tattoo showing, so you need it somewhere where you can cover it up. So that's why I feel like back here is nice, because a lot of the shirts that you have to wear at a job, at least at like a professional job, are going to cover that up. A lot of people like to see them on their arms, but the thing is, if you get them too far down, you have to find some way to cover them, or you have to wear a long sleeve, which if you work in the summertime is not very comfortable to wear long sleeves. Righty or lefty? I am a lefty. Yeah, that's about all there is to that. Category of questions is firsts, and the first question is, who was your first best friend? My first best friend is actually a girl I met at church. I've known her since we were in preschool together at our church, so like 3. Yeah, like 3 or 4. And her name is Annie, and she was my first best friend. We have since kind of like drifted apart just because she's gone to a college that I am not going to, and I haven't been in contact with her as much as I did when we were younger. But that happens. You grow up, you kind of grow apart a little bit. But she was my first best friend. What was my first award? My first award, I imagine, was probably a swim team award. Either like a participating award, or yeah, probably participating award for swim team. I might have gotten one for the dance class that I did, but I don't know if they did that or not. So probably my swim team award. What was my first sport? My first sport, I guess if you can consider it, dancing. I only did dancing for a few months. I did enough to up to the performance and complete the performance, and I've never done since. If that doesn't count, then swimming. What was your first real holiday? I don't know what they mean by first real holiday. Or I don't know if they mean holiday as in Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving holiday, or holiday as in a vacation, like I'm taking a holiday. I don't really remember either one of those though. I imagine my first real holiday though was probably Thanksgiving, just because I was adopted in September, and so that would have been like the closest one, I guess. I don't really know what that question means. First concert. My first concert was Creation Fest, which if you guys don't know what that is, it's a big Christian concert, and a lot of popular Christian bands go and play, and that was the first concert I'd ever been to. This question category is favorites. My favorite film. I guess that's like a movie. My favorite movie, favorite animated movie. Let's break it up into anime, non-anime. Favorite animated is Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. I know you guys have heard me say this before, probably in another tag video. I've always just liked that movie. I love horses, and so that's always been my favorite. My favorite non-animated movie? I have no idea. I have too many favorites. Way too many favorites to count. So, a lot of those. What's my favorite TV show? The Flash, or The Arrow. You guys already know. My favorite color? Blue. Any shade. What's my favorite song? This is hard to do. My favorite song kind of changes per month, or if there's like a new song that comes out. The only song that I've really liked that have kind of stayed the same throughout the years is 10,000 Reasons. So that's like the only song that's really stayed the same as being one of my favorites. My favorite restaurant, Olive Garden. I just really like it. I like pasta a lot, and y'all, if y'all don't have an Olive Garden, it's just it's an Italian restaurant, and they serve a lot of pastas, a lot of breadsticks, so I like that. My favorite store? I don't have one. I really don't have a favorite store. I just kind of like whatever store I go into. What's my favorite book? My favorite book are probably I like a lot of books. Like, well, I shouldn't say that. I have liked quite a few books in the past. I don't read too much anymore. But my favorite books, I probably have to say, is the Elsie Dinsmore series. That's probably the only set of books that I've read, like, back to back. Like, I read the whole series and then reread the whole series, like 2 or 3 more times afterwards. So probably Elsie Dinsmore. My favorite magazine, I don't have one of those either. I kind of just look at the one that has the coolest front cover. Favorite shoes? I'm not sure if this means like brand or style. I don't really have a favorite brand. My style kind of depends on what I'm doing or my mood. Sometimes I really want to wear my boots. Sometimes I want to wear flats. Sometimes I want to feel a little bit more dressy, a little more girly. So I'll throw some heels on. It really just depends on what I'm doing. Questions are, what are you currently? The first question is, what are you currently feeling? I'm currently feeling content. I mean, right now I don't have a whole lot to really complain about. I've got a lot of things to be thankful for, so feeling content. I have not necessarily a lot of things that I'm like overexcited for other than moving to my apartment, but other than that I don't have anything immediate that I'm excited for, so just content. Are you currently single or taken? Currently single, but I'm only 20, so I've still got a while, I guess. Are you currently eating? Nope. I actually just finished eating, though. I finished eating some of my leftover ice cream birthday cakes, and some watermelon. What am I currently listening to? Just in general, I've just been listening to a lot of pop, and I've gotten back into country. I used to listen to country a lot back when I was in my earlier teens and like my tweens, so like 12 through like 16. I used to listen to country every night, every chance I got. So when I was younger and didn't have a job and had more time on my hands, so I kind of got away from it since I got a little bit earlier, or a little bit older, but now I've gone back into country. So I'm really glad I did that though, because I'm starting to remember why I first listened to it. What am I currently thinking about? Currently just thinking about everything I'm going to need to do to move to college, and what I'm going to need there, and what I'm going to do in terms of making friendships, I want to get like a part-time work-study job on campus, stuff like that. So just kind of the future. What am I currently watching? I was actually just currently watching Bob's Burgers. It's hilarious. It's not necessarily the most appropriate television show. There's a lot of like swearing and a little bit of suggestive humor and suggestive content in it. So it's not really a little kid show, but it's hilarious if you're like an older teenager or an adult or something like that. What am I currently wearing? I'm currently wearing this flower dress that I showed you guys at the beginning. It just looks like this right here, all the way down, and it comes to right above my knee. So my mom actually got it for me off AliExpress. It wasn't too expensive. I don't know how much it was, but I like it, and I wore it to church today. This section is the future, and first question is, do you want children? The answer would be yes. I don't know if I've told you guys or if I've just told everybody else, but I do actually want 9, and people think I'm crazy, and I actually upped the number. I wanted 7 before, and then I decided that I wanted like another couple of kids, so I want 9 in total. We'll see if that happens. I may end up with 2 or 3, but I'm hoping to have 9. But I want to adopt kids, so I don't necessarily want to give birth to 9. I just would like 9 in total. So like, can adopt some, and then have some of my own biological ones, adopt all of them. I would like to have like a nice semi-even mixture, but you know, that's not entirely important. But 9. Do I want to be married? Yes. You guys probably already know this. I talk entirely too much about crushes to want to be single for life. So, yes. Future careers in mind. I want to be a teacher, specifically an elementary education teacher. So I want to do like probably 1st grade or 2nd grade. Maybe kindergarten. I was thinking I wanted to do kindergarten because I did my practicum for a kindergarten teacher and I loved it. It was great. It was a lot of fun working with them. But I also work at a daycare with kindergarten age kids and they're a pain in the butt. However, daycare and school is a lot different. When they're in daycare, they kind of just, the lessons that they do are more just things, so they're not running around all day doing, you know, like just playing. But they're not actual like schoolwork. It's just more like, this is the theme of the week. We're going to do a couple projects to match them, but it's not really like actual school. So there's less like constructive stuff to it. So I might still be doing kindergarten, but I'm looking more at like first grade. Because they're like old enough that they kind of know how to behave a little bit better, but they're young enough that they're not like high schoolers where it's just like, they're less like cute, you know. Where do I want to live in the future? In the future, if you had asked me this question like 5 years ago, I would have said Colorado, hands down. I want to go back to Colorado because I went to Colorado probably when I was 12. I think was when we took that vacation, and I really loved it. That was my best and most fun, enjoyable, and memorable vacation I've ever been on. But now I don't really know because I've been to so many different states and stuff that I kind of like a lot of different places. Because like I went to Kentucky, and where I went to Kentucky was really pretty. We went to Kentucky twice, 2 different places. I've been to Florida. I don't know if I'd want to live in Florida though. It's a little hot for me, and I do like the beach, but I'm not sure if I want to live at the beach because it kind of loses its excitement and it's off. You're there all the time. But I've been there. I've been to a bunch of other different places, so I kind of like a little bit of everywhere I've been. So I really don't know right now. This last category, I think, is going to be the toughest one to answer, just because it gets into God and just kind of. So word I'm looking for, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it's not like everyday like favorite color or how many siblings you have type stuff. It's more deeper meanings, I guess, maybe is what I'm looking for. But the first question is, do you believe in God? The answer is yes. I believed in God since I was about 3 years old, I think is when I first accepted God into my heart. Believed in Him ever since. I call myself a Christian. And I do believe that He is my Lord and Savior. And that's kind of something that I've had since I was 3. I think I understand it a little bit better now that I'm older. You know, when you're 3, you don't necessarily understand a whole bunch. And even when you get older, you don't always understand everything. It can take, you know, your whole life and you still won't understand everything there is to understand about God. But when you're 3, you understand even less. So you kind of just get the I love Jesus because, you know, it's either what you've been taught or you've been around church and you've been around your, Christian family and their influences. And so you love Jesus, but you don't necessarily know why. It's almost just like, I love Him because I do, but I don't really have an answer for you because I'm only 3 and I don't necessarily know how to express it, but I know that I do in my heart. Next question is, do you believe in miracles? Yes, and I believe miracles happen every day. And when I was younger, I used to believe miracles had to be big, or they weren't really miracles. Like if someone was dying and from cancer or a tumor or something, and the cancer and tumor were magically gone the next day, I believed that was a miracle. But when I was younger, I didn't really believe that getting into a college that you've been wanting to get into for years, I didn't really necessarily believe that was a miracle because I felt like that was not life or death situation. Like if you didn't make it into that college, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I didn't really believe that like if you were supposed to get evicted from your apartment or something like that, and somehow someone gave you some money or you got some money somewhere. I didn't necessarily think that was a miracle when I was little. I was kind of more narrow-minded and more thought miracles had to do with big things that would affect your physical life, like dying or getting sick, something like that. But since I've gotten older, I've started to see miracles can be, you know, big like that, but it can also be very little. It can be something like you're not late for work. You know, you thought you were going to be late for work, and somehow you made it on time without, you know, speeding or breaking any laws or anything. You made it on time. That could be, you know, that could be a miracle. Or you're needing some food, you're hungry, you don't think you have any money to buy yourself lunch that day, and you're like, well, I guess I'm just not going to eat lunch today, and you end up having $5 so you can go and get yourself something. You know, something like that can be a miracle. And even though you know, you might have been fine without lunch that day, you know, the fact that you had something that you didn't think you were going to have, that can be a little miracle. So, yes, do believe in miracles. Do you believe in love at first sight? I do believe that it can happen. I just don't think it happens as often as people want it to, or as often as people assume it does. I think it's something that's very rare. It very possibly can happen. I've known it to happen, but I don't think that it's as often as people want it to be, or as often as people think it is. A lot of people are like, they see somebody, they find them attractive, they want it to work, so they're like, oh my goodness, it's love at first sight, we're going to get married, and things will work out. And they're like, I don't know what happened, I thought it was love at first sight. And it's very rarely is it love at first sight. You have to build a relationship, but that's a whole nother topic, and I can get into all of that. But yeah, I do believe it can happen, just not as often as people think it does. Do you believe in ghosts? This one was the question that I was looking at that I thought would be a little bit more confusing to answer, a little harder to answer. I don't believe in ghosts, but I do believe in angels and demons. And the reason this question is kind of hard for me to answer is because angels and demons, they're not ghosts, but it's almost like they are, in terms of you don't necessarily see them. But you can kind of feel that they're there, or you can kind of feel when they're somewhere. If you're going into a very satanic place, you can kind of just feel a very evil and cold feeling about you, and kind of sense that there could be demons in that place, but you don't necessarily see a physical being. And sometimes you can see physical things. Sometimes you can have visions of them, sometimes you can see physical things, but a lot of times it's more like you feel that there's an angel there, or you feel that there's a demon there, just because of the kind of vibe you're getting from a certain area, or maybe a certain person, or something like that. So that's why it's kind of confusing to answer this question, because I don't believe in ghosts, but I do believe in demons and angels, which in some way kind of feel like they could be ghosts, but in another way they're not, because a lot of people think ghosts are just invisible undead people, kind of like when people die, they become a ghost or spirit or something like that, and then they come back to haunt you, or you Casper the Friendly Ghost or something like that. And demons and angels are different, because they're not dead people who came back to haunt you. They're completely different beings altogether. They were created to be different than people. They were never created to be people who died. So they're their own thing. If that makes sense, if you understood that. Next one is, do you believe in aliens? No. And it's not just because TV has made them seem so cheesy. If you watch TV and movies nowadays, there's a lot of them that have like aliens coming from different places. Sometimes they're aliens that look like people. Sometimes they're the green aliens from Mars, Martians. But I do not believe in aliens. Do you believe in soulmates? I do believe that there is someone that, you know, someone that for you that you can live the rest of your life with. I don't really understand necessarily soulmates versus, or like the one for you. I feel like in life there can be several different people that would be compatible for you, and you would just have to kind of pick which one. It sounds weird, but you kind of pick which one you think would be most compatible, and that's the one that you make it work with, because not every relationship is going to be perfect. There's not going to be one specific person that's going to be perfect for your relationship, that you're never going to fight with, never going to argue with or get mad at. everybody, doesn't matter who you marry, no matter how perfect they look like, you know, at a distance, once you get into a relationship with them, there will be issues that you'll have to work through. But there are some people who are more compatible and they're better equipped, I guess you could say, to be able to deal with those problems when those issues arise. There are people who know how to react when you get upset better than other people who might just, you know, they might blow up and make things worse. So I don't know if I believe in necessarily soulmates, but I do believe that, you know, there are people out there that, you know, are better at being compatible with you that you could spend the rest of your life with. So that was a little confusing. Maybe you got them, maybe you didn't. Do you believe in heaven and do you believe in hell? These are two different questions, but I just put them together because they kind of go together, like do you believe in angels and demons? I do believe in both. I do believe heaven is a paradise. It's the second earth type of thing that all believers in Jesus Christ go to at the end times when Jesus comes again. I do believe in that, and I do believe in hell as being the place that all non-believers go to when Jesus comes back in the second coming in the end times. So I do believe in both of those. Do you believe in kissing on a first date? I feel like this is more of a personal thing, like a decision. I don't think personally that I would ever do it just because I'm not that open. I don't really like to jump like that. I had a situation where I kind of jumped a little bit too fast, and it wasn't like as fast as I could have. It was a little bit more reined in than that, but I kind of, once I started, I kind of went too fast in getting my heart attached, and it didn't work out well. So I've kind of learned my lesson since then, and I now don't really jump. So it's not really something, it wouldn't be something I would do. And it's not, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it, like kissing on the first date, but like I said, so that was a very long tag. I know the last section was like 10 minutes long. This is going to be a very, very long tag. If you guys made it to the end of this tag, thank you. Congratulations. You made it through this whole video. Hopefully it was as fun for you to watch as it was for me to film. It kind of made me think a little bit, not so much like the beginning portion of it, but like the ending portion when it got to like what you believe in and the future and stuff like that. It got me kind of thinking on some topics that I don't always do a whole lot of thinking about all the time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to do any other videos like this, or if you have any suggestions, you can go ahead and let me know in the comments. Other than that, like this video if you liked it, comment me something sweet down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure if you guys are subscribed, or if you're going to subscribe, that you hit the little bell that's right next to the subscribe. All that does is it makes sure that you get notifications every time I upload, so you're not late and you're not like, oh man, I haven't seen a video in here for 6 months. But really, it's just that you haven't been getting notified. So if you could click that bell too to make sure you're getting notified, and all of my recent uploads, I would appreciate that. And until next time, you guys just keep being awesome. Thanks, guys.